Officials in Ward County are recommending that all residences and businesses display a clear address. Kelly Haugen, the county's director of emergency management, says sometimes 911 responders have trouble finding the house or business number, even in rural areas. He says that in emergency situations, time is of the essence.
We want them in a contrasting color so they're easier to see, especially at night or like I said, when the weather is not the best.
He says their electronic mapping system is good, but it's not perfect.